So we talked about upskilling, continuous learning. What do you think about this term bouncing back?
I think that I've been bouncing up and down and bouncing back from things all during my career. I've just formed myself into a ball at this point. But lots of examples in the academic space. You submit papers, they often get what we call desk rejected. The editor sends it right back without sending it for review. That can be pretty heartbreaking. It goes to review, the reviewers trash it, and then you get it back. That can be heartbreaking too. But either way, you just there's a journal that works for the paper. And one prime example is during my PhD, we sent my paper to one journal, and the journal had us do the reviewers had us do all these revisions. And then we sent it back and they rejected it. And that's terrible when it gets reviewed and you do the revisions and then the editor decides it's not novel anymore. And so we sent it, once we picked ourselves back up, we sent it to a better journal, and that journal accepted it. And
Nice.
so, you sometimes you have to take take the feedback, give yourself some space to sort of rebound and recover, but keep pushing along because sometimes the end result can be much better. And I'm glad it wound up where it wound up.
No, I hear you. In sales, we often talk about that, those 8 or 9 no's gets you that much closer to the yes, right? And so if you can apply that in academia, I know that publishing and journaling is so painful. And I just can't even imagine that you took all the time to edit and then they reject you, but you one up them because you went to a better journal. Nice. And that's how it happens sometimes. It seems like a failure or the door's closed, you bounce back and all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is actually better than where I thought I wanted to be to begin with, right?
Yeah, it can happen. It doesn't always happen that way, but it sometimes happens enough to offset the times it doesn't happen. Because, another example is all the grants that I apply for that don't get funded. And so, there's still the same mechanism that we're applying for that still hasn't been funded. But, you check your milestones in some of your other projects and celebrate your achievements in other ways as you can.